Hey everyone, it's Kayla from The Casual Crafter, and today we're going to be doing some boho style Christmas decor. This will be video 1 of 2. Next week I will have another video with even more boho Christmas DIYs for you to enjoy. But this week we're going to be doing some using inexpensive materials from Dollar Tree and Walmart. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So here I'm just taking some of those triangle shadow boxes that have been popular at Dollar Tree recently. I'm taking 3 of them and I'm going to be making a tree-like shape. Here I was just measuring out what height I wanted them to be cut off at, and now I'm removing the backs of each of them. I'm taking that paper off the back, and then I'll end up sanding the back as well to get as much of it off as I can. And where I drew those lines, I'm going to be cutting down and cutting off the tops of 2 of the triangles so that I can attach them to one another. It was a pretty rough cut once I did that, so I made sure I sanded them really well and used a level to make sure that they were at accurate heights. And then here I'm just hot gluing them together. You can use a stronger adhesive if you'd like, and then I'm just making sure that they're level as I glue them together to ensure that they can stand on their own. And then I'm going to be attaching one of these like cup hooks that you can get at different stores in a package. It didn't screw in very well to the top, so I mostly just hot glued it. I had issues with it screwing in. And then I got this inexpensive pack of mini ornaments from Walmart. I really liked the colors in them, pretty neutral. And I'm just using some fishing line and cutting those down to a height so that I can stagger where they end up falling. And I just tie the fishing line around and attach all 3 to the hook at the top. I feel like this ends up looking pretty classy and also goes with that boho style decor because of the neutral wood color and the muted green tones. So next I'm actually following another tutorial I found on YouTube. I'm not going to show you every single step I did throughout this, so I just kind of sped up this next part, but it's just to give you inspiration in general. I'm making a macrame tree. I'm using some cord I found, I think it's clothesline that I found in the tool section at Walmart. I ended up using 2 packs of it, and then some wooden beads. I think you need 9 of them in total. If you've never done macrame, I don't think this is too difficult to follow. I've only made one other thing in macrame, and I thought this ended up turning out pretty well, so I'll leave a link to the video I followed down below. So for this next part, I'm going to be making some antlers out of a variety of materials. I ended up picking up some aluminum foil and masking tape and some wire from Dollar Tree. The wire is in the automotive section with all the tools and everything. And then the masking tape is also in that section. And if you have either of those on hand, that would work too. So I'm just using those to kind of form the shape of the antler I want. And then I'm going to be covering that wire in aluminum foil. I'm just going to be tearing that off and scrunching it around it. And I build up a couple layers of the aluminum foil on it to give it some thickness. So once that's done, I'm going to be covering the whole thing in masking tape. I'm trying to smooth it out as best as I can, but don't worry, we're going to be covering it in hot glue. So if it doesn't look perfect, don't worry too much. The masking tape ultimately just leaves a good base for the hot glue to stick to. So then I'm going to be trying to make kind of a line-like pattern that you might see on antlers in general, but you're going to be using quite a bit of hot glue for this. So you're just going to be coating the entire thing in hot glue. You can go back and add more if you don't like the texture it leaves, which I end up doing. Then once I have the glue how I want, I'm going to be going in with this apple barrel paint in an off-white color. You can use any acrylic paint. And I'm just going to be covering it to give it kind of that antler look. The white bony texture and color. And then I'm going to be taking this tan acrylic paint as well as a dark brown to just add some dry brushing to the hot glue texture you see, to make it a little more interesting, and it provides some depth to the overall look. Obviously these don't look perfect, but I think from a distance and for decoration they work pretty well. And antlers themselves can be really expensive, so I thought this was an inexpensive way to get the same look. So up next, I'm going to be taking some various size stretch canvases from Dollar Tree. I believe this one was an 8x10, and then I have a couple other ones that are 5x7. But I'm just going to be removing the staples from the back, and then end up using the wood frame that's underneath. So once I use a combination of pliers and a screwdriver, I get all those staples out, and then you're left with a canvas and a nice wood frame. And I repeat that for the smaller canvases as well. So I'm going to hot glue those frames to the canvas. Then I'm going to be taking my box cutter and just trimming the edges so that the canvas is only covering the back and not hanging out over the edges. So then I'm kind of going to freehand this tree design I laid out. I thought it was kind of childlike, but also whimsical and cute. I'm just going in with a pencil and erasing any mistakes I might make, but I also made sure I'd left room between some of the branches I made. Then I'm just going to go over that in Sharpie. I go over it a few times because I think my Sharpie pen was starting to dry out, and also I wanted the lines to be thicker than what I drew. Then I came up with this other simple design. It's just a couple triangles. Again, I just sketched it out first and then went over it with a Sharpie. Also, because of the texture of the canvas, the Sharpie does take a little bit to write on it, so going over it a few times is beneficial. And then this last design I made another design. I just kind of Googled some simple tree drawing ideas and kind of went with whatever I wanted. So here I'm taking those ornaments you saw I used earlier that I got from Walmart. I'm just going to be taking some of the even smaller ones, and I poke a hole in the canvas with a needle first, and then once the ornaments are on fishing line, I just string them through and then cut whatever's left over and tie it on the back. And I think it really makes a cute display piece. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure and tune in next week for even more boho style Christmas decor. I'll be posting videos on Wednesdays around 5 p.m. Central Time, so be sure and tune in. You can like and comment down below what your favorite item I made today was, or what you plan to make yourselves. And if you enjoy this content, be sure and subscribe to my channel for even more videos in the future. Thanks again. Bye!